I have to start off by asking this question. What is it that thrust you into politics? Why did you actually get involved with it? Because, you've got a lovely family, you've got a number of businesses, you're doing quite well for yourself. But I often find myself asking the question, why? Why would you put yourself out there?
Well, let's be honest about doing quite well, because coming up to 17 years in business in December, I've seen the business landscape change a lot over that time. And as a younger man, when I was kicking off working for myself, I, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, optimistic, have seen the degradation of our economy, of our culture, of our ability to thrive in this country. And in my eyes, it's a breach of what I call the social contract. You might have heard me mention that before. And that's a really important part of how our society stays together. And so I've always watched politics. I actually handed out how to votes for Hanson in the late 90s. That's, kind of when I started. And as my ability to play football and things decreased, my interest in what was happening around us increased by default. So it's been an awesome journey, horrifying as well. And of course, who can forget the elephant in the room, COVID. And COVID really engaged me to get more involved. And it was after Morrison lost in 22 that I joined the Liberal Party and had my eyes wide open walking into that experience and saw how that machine operates from the inside at a number of conventions, and then getting voted into a secretary position for my SEC area in the Liberal Party. And then ultimately after the last election result.
If I can just take 20 seconds of your time, I apologise for interrupting this clip. If you'd like to support Turning Point Australia and what we're doing to help keep the lights on and keep the work going moving forward, please check out our website at tpaust.com.au. We've got a range of merchandise, whether it's the Make Australia Great Again hat, whether it's the other shirts that we have, or the educational maps that we have. Please go and support. If you don't want to buy any merch, that's fine. You can also support us by buying us a coffee and becoming a regular subscriber for as little as $4 a month. I'll let you guys get back to it. Thank you so much.
Being one of the first casualties kicked out of the party in Queensland for what they called supporting Rennick.
Yeah.
And, a lot of us only joined the Liberal Party because of Rennick. So, I was a bit cheeky, I guess, making some content, saying don't vote for Jared Rennick. And they took that as a support for Jared, even though I didn't actually say those words. And then, promptly sent me a letter kicking me out of the party, expelling me, terminating. Right. No recourse, no ability to come back. And I was also the secretary of our branch. So I was a conservative figure, right-leaning, that was taken out by the party. And that's what they do. Anyone who sticks their head above the parapet in the party, they pretty much take them out.
A lot of people watching that from afar were quite taken aback. They were thinking, how can this man, who has the largest following in the Liberal Party for any sitting member, other than Scott Morrison, how could he actually be taken out in this way? And that's where I guess that's why you signed up as a member, safeguarding.
Well, what a wonderful experience to be there and see that happen. I mean, terrible for what happened to Jared, because we lost a great senator, and that number 3 spot would have always been a hard one to win for the Liberals anyway in Queensland. But I was at 2 conventions and watched what they did to Rennick over that period of time, and that was a real lesson in politics for me. Almost as big as the first time when I handed out how to vote for Hanson in the 90s, and 10% of the Australian population voted for her, and I think she only won 1 seat, So that was when I started to understand what proportional representation meant, and also how the preference system worked. Yeah, because Australian politics, it's a messy game, and there's a lot of machinations to it that most people don't fully understand, especially when it comes to preferencing.
Well, that's why I exist. I very quickly during COVID, I know you watched from afar my original show, The Arc, with Ricardo Bossi.
100%.
It was funny that I was talking about these things, the preferential system and whatever. Aussies, they have no idea. I don't know any of this stuff. And maybe it's just because I'm a nerd and I follow UK, US politics and Australian politics as a result. But there is a huge market where Aussies, they don't learn about civic duty in schools. Is that how it used to always be? Did they never learn that, years ago?
I don't specifically remember being taught that at school. And I mean, you went to high school here as well. And I don't recall that. I don't recall that we were taught how preference voting works. So I reckon about 70% of Australians probably step into that booth with no idea either. And gosh knows, I've scrutineered at enough elections and assisted to watch how people vote, and clearly they have no idea.
Thank you so much for watching the show. I hope you enjoyed this particular clip. If you want to support this show and keep the lights on and support everything we're doing at Turning Point Australia, please head to tpaust.com.au, where we've got hats, we've got shirts, we've got maps. And if you don't want to buy any merch, that's perfectly fine. If you want to just buy maybe a cup of coffee a month, for as little as $4 a month, you can help us get a small long black to actually support the show and actually keep things going. Thank you guys so much for your support. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you later.